Welcome to Messages from Spirit. I try to do these every week, fresh. Besides the lives, these are the second freshest thing I put out. Then I also do collective love readings bi-weekly, and then extended love readings. If those collective love readings resonate with you, then I do an extended that kind of goes into more detail. Okay. And then my lives are every Monday and Thursday from 2 to 4 Mountain Time. So Messages from Spirit is completely random. Sometimes it's just totally channeled. It's always totally channeled, but sometimes I use oracle cards and things. I just do what Spirit tells me to. Sometimes I don't use any tools at all, and I just tell you a message that they want me to talk about. Okay. Oh, they just said truth. Truth. Okay. So they said living in your truth. The kittens are playing. Living in your truth. They said it's time to get honest with yourself and time to get, everybody is getting honest with themselves, seeing with even 2020 vision, truths. So that kind of implies like in regards to last year. Oh yeah, and let me mention that as a little side note too. I'm going to start putting the global updates, in other words, things that are going on in our world, and giving you guys updates on what's happening as a collective in our world on YouTube, UGETUBE.com. So you might want to go there and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of those videos I put up. Yeah, and BitChute. I'm putting them up on BitChute as well. But YouTube is about to, it's gathering momentum. It's doing really well. So also, I'm going to do another Spiritually Raw is about to announce soon, something you should pay attention to, and I'm going to be a part of. So it's going to be really exciting. So watch their channel and see. You can hear the announcement from them. I'll let them announce it first, and then I might share it here on our channel, my channel. And in the community tab, I might put some information in the community tab as well. So I just want to thank you guys so much for your support. Some of you have been with me for years, and I so appreciate you. And I just love your dedication, your care, your concern. You guys really do feel like a family to me, and I cannot thank you enough for how kind you guys are and how spiritually focused you guys are, and the amazing stories that you share with me and the testimonials that pour in, and just you guys are so amazing, and I love being part of your evolutionary story and some of the epiphanies and realizations you guys are having as you're growing and expanding. And it's very inspiring for me also to see just how when everybody works together and they all strive to learn and to grow and to love even more, especially love yourselves. And she came into the picture right when I said that. She that's how she confirms things. Annie is very intuitive, very intuitive. So I thought I would get pick a Kuan Yin card from the Kuan Yin deck as a theme for today as well, although they already said truth. So truth, 2020 vision. I'm about to go have my eyes checked because I want to renew my license online. And so that's going to be interesting because I've never had my eyes looked at. And that for a particular reason would be, I guess, I want to fix them on my own. I want to heal them on my own. They are getting a little bit blurry sometimes. So, but the med beds are coming out hopefully in June. So that will be totally awesome to get my eyesight back to 2020 like it used to be. Okay, the Divine Mother's love. If we don't trust our divine connection, we can feel like a lost child, uncertain, insecure, and afraid. Yet when that child knows that the mother is always there, waiting, naturally stepping in when needed, but otherwise trusting in the child's ability to live his own life, then getting lost for a time is just part of the adventure. It's not frightening, it's freeing. So I've told you guys a bit about having had an enlightenment experience years ago. And I sometimes forget who I am, in the sense that I become more in my ego and I live more like a normal person sometimes. But in moments when I need it, I know just how to pull back and observe myself. And when I do, this incredible, blissful, beautiful energy comes over me and kind of takes over the reins and takes care of me. So I always essentially feel safe because I know that that's my go-to. I just have to realize and go, oh, I'm feeling stressed right now. Let me remember who I am. And then I pull back and I observe myself. Ooh, look at Amy getting stressed out, or look at Amy getting triggered, or whatever. And I observe her. And then I become one with my higher self, and I get really clear guidance on that, whatever the issue is, right? So trust your intuition. Trust that you do know the truth, because there's a lot of confusing energy going on in our world right now, and it trickles down into our relationships as well. We become uncertain about everything. We become really hesitant to even believe ourselves anymore. Or we go down this track and then we're hesitant, and then we go down that track and we're hesitant, and this looks real. But then I hear this, and that seems like totally contradictory. So, some things seem unfathomable in our world, especially right now when these crazy truths are going to start coming out more and more. Don't be so quick to poo-poo crazy things. Keep a very, very open mind about all of it, about everything and anything you hear. Don't just hear something and go, oh yeah, well, that's it, and just leave it like that. Listen to your intuition about it. You could even ask spirit. This is one thing I would get down if I were you. A yes and a no from spirit. So take some time, maybe after this video, even during the video if you want to pause it, but just ask spirit, show me where my yes is. And then it might drift up to a certain corner, or it might look a certain way, or it could be like a pulsating. Everybody's different, and you are in control of how spirit is with you, in the sense. Sometimes things are done to you or shown to you. Like sometimes you'll get a vision, or you'll have an experience with an angel or something like that would be kind of like, wow, that wasn't expecting that. But a lot of times, most times, if not all times, spirit will do what you ask it to, because they are there to support us. Your spirit guides and angels and all those, your whole crew, your spiritual crew, they're all there to help you however you need. So they're like spotting you. And as your team, you need to let them know and be communicating to them what's best for you. So I've said this many times, but when I was first learning to do this and I was becoming a reader for the Lighthouse Bookstore back when, I would hear all these different messages, and some of them would be, it'd be like hearing 10 people standing around you going, tell them this, because this is really important. And if they do this, then that, and then this other person might chime in and say something similar, but like a different twist. And then this other person saying something like totally opposite almost. And they're all chiming in at the same time. And you're just like, like, I don't know what to listen to. So I told them at the time, I said, okay, you guys gave me this job, so thank you. I know this is like a step up from what I've done before. It's different than I've done before. Let's just say that. It's different and feels like a step up, like I'm being called to strengthen my abilities. And I said, in doing so, you guys, I really would like for you guys to come up with a consensus amongst you, and then you agree on one common theme, and then you trickle that down to me, and I will expand on that. And as I go to feel into that energy and I start to describe it to the person, it may sound like opinion. It may sound like my own life experience. It may sound like any number of different things like that, but it really is all channeled. And if you go down like a wrong thread, like you will feel off and you'll feel kind of a stop energy. If you start going down a path and they're like, no. You'll feel it. You start to get more and more sensitive to it all the time, the more you practice. And I do have an exercise here on YouTube, that you just put in Amy Satori and divine guidance counsel, or just put in the word counsel and it would probably bring it up. Amy Satori counsel. So if you get to practicing that exercise like once a week, once a month, semi-regularly, you'll get a better feel for what that stop feels like, or the, it kind of feels like a correction you do with a dog or a cat or something. And you're just, oh, okay, it's not very common that should happen, but if you do start going down a wrong road, you will know. You will definitely know. Anyway, so as you go forward during this uncertain time, you can always be watching someone or something and ask yourself, is this true? I do it all the time, you guys. Is this true? Does this align with the truth? And then I get like a yes up in the corner. Or sometimes I'll say, I don't know, this kind of, there's something fishy about this. And then I might get a no. So I'm like, so I can trust this? Yes. Or I'll be like, there's something fishy about this. I don't know. And then I'll feel like no coming from this corner, or whatever, however it works for you guys. It's not going to be the same as it is for me, because everybody's different. And you guys all have different kinds of spirit guides. Some of you have extraterrestrials that you're working with, which is another thing that might be coming up, is some UFO type thing and some fake stuff. You guys got to be really discerning going forward. We're seriously living Jumanji. Is it Zoom? I'm thinking Zoomanity. Jumanji. You're in Jumanji, but it's you're going to be living off of instinct. You're going to be examine even things that look like a really great thing, like you hit the jackpot, right? Which is going to happen to many of you watching this right now. You're going to hit the jackpot, but I want you to constantly check yourself. Is this my ultimate truth I'm aligned with? Can I trust this? Is this a good thing, or is there a trick here? May look like a good thing that somebody offers you $1 million, but where is your trust? Is your trust in money? Is that what's going to make you feel safe and secure? Is your trust in having enough food? Is your trust in having enough water? Is your trust in, having all your animals' needs met? Whatever your trust is, it needs to be in God. I mean, and I say God like group of deities, but God is like, he is all of it. He encompasses all of it. He animates our bodies. So he is one with us, or we are one with him, meaning we're his finger or his toe, or, we're part of his body, if you will. All of us are part of his body or her body. We don't know what God is. I don't like labeling either. So, but you have to have that connection with God. You've got to have that connection with God in order to have the most secure sense of well-being you can have, which means being present in the moment, which means being out of your head and dropping down into your heart and listening to your instincts moment to moment. So you may as well get used to practicing it on everything. I sit down to have a meal, or I go to look for a meal, and I'm like, is this okay that I eat this? And I'll get a yes or a no. And if it's a no, I put it away. Or I'll say, should I have this? No. And I might even throw it away. Should the cats have this? Is this okay for the cats? Is this, it's like a constant check-in. And what starts to happen is you go to like reach for an item and you'll see a no. You'll reach for another item and say yes. So you skip over the question part. So everything you do starts to become yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, as you're reaching and doing for everything. You'll even go to take a shower or take a bath and you'll feel no. And you'll say, okay. So then you can ask questions. Should I take a bath in like 20 minutes? Yes. Okay. There is something to the timing of things, guys. There really is. Everything is being coordinated. If you watch the butterfly effect, Ashton Kutcher, that's funny. That might have been an intuitive slip. I'm not going to go into that right now, but okay. So yeah, butterfly effect. So watch that movie if you haven't, because that's what I'm talking about, is the timing of things. Now they're wanting to go into timelines. Okay. What about timelines? They want me to explain timelines, because somebody was asking me about them the other day. Like, what is a timeline? And what do you mean switching timelines? She had an experience where her masculine had stayed the night. Yay, right? Her masculine had stayed the night, and he got up in the middle of the night, walked outside, and was standing in a puddle, and he woke up that way. And he's never sleepwalked in his life. He's never done that. And he was shocked. Like, how did I go down those steep set of stairs that are really squeaky? And she's a really, really light sleeper. She would have woken up if she would have heard any noise at all. But somehow he was outside, and he woke up, and he came back. He came back into the house and woke her up. And he said, I think I just sleepwalked, you know? So she asked me, like, what was up with that? And I said, I feel like it was a timeline shift. So we can, according to our ability to be open-minded and fathom that something really crazy could happen in your environment, and you accept that, like Annie completely disappearing right now and then popping back in on the scene. If I can fathom that could happen, then it's more possible for me that I could. So it makes more things possible. And what happens is you have all these parallel timelines going at the same time. They're all tied together. That's why they're called parallel, right? You're married to the same husband. You're married to the same husband. You're married to the same husband down this road over here. Maybe you didn't choose him and you went with someone else. So there's all these different timelines going. All these different scenarios are playing out all at the same time. I know this is really hard to even imagine sometimes, but they're all happening at the same time, playing out at the same time. Sometimes you'll even find you'll get a flash. You'll be even walking through your bedroom or making a meal or something, and all of a sudden you get this flash that you're with somebody different, living a different life, and you're just like looking around, going, "Whoa, what is this?" You know, you're experiencing kind of a meld, like maybe you're doing the exact same activity in your other life with a different husband or whatever. So you just kind of go, oh, how interesting, wow, that's kind of playing out different over there. Or maybe you tap into, like, maybe you start to go down a fear wormhole where, I'm starting to feel a little anxiety here. I'm starting to, oh, geez, and then you stop yourself and you're like, whoa, I don't know if I like this timeline so much. So then you just consciously, I want to connect with a timeline where I'm uplifted and inspired right now instead. And just thinking that and feeling that and deciding that will put you on a different timeline. It's a timeline that looks identical to the one that you're in, only you didn't go down that worry path. So we're constantly shifting all the time, just like that. And we don't even realize it. But like, I have some blinds that are down right now. And I do that because I don't want to be watched while I'm making these videos, right? But if I were to shift timelines real quick, then all of a sudden the blinds might be up. And you might jump and be like, oh, I know that I shut those blinds. I know that I did. Or like in the case of the sleepwalker, you're like, wait a minute, that's impossible. That couldn't have happened. But they both were open-minded enough that they could do that. Otherwise, they don't go against your will and frighten you with something that you wouldn't accept. I mean, they do sometimes if the whole collective pulls that energy in, but generally speaking, they know that okay, here's another example. I mean, then they know they don't want to shock us and make us go, like all of a sudden there's a man standing in your room. That's not going to happen. Somebody's just not going to, usually, sometimes if you have an open enough mind, sometimes that can happen where you just all of a sudden have the person in your room and then they weren't there a minute ago and you jump out of your skin. But usually typically they're trying not to do that to you. So they will only do timelines that look just like the one that you're in, only you might feel different, or there might be an object that appears on your table that wasn't there before, that kind of thing. So typically it usually looks like items are moved. So another example of a timeline shift real quick was I was driving down the road. I was headed to the lighthouse, headed to work. And I saw a car that was a good 2 feet, maybe 3 feet into my lane. I mean, it was, enough to where I knew if I kept going on that trajectory, going forward in that momentum, I would have hit the car in just a matter of seconds. So I had kept going forward, assuming the car was going to get their little butt in their own lane, but they did not. And I was like, okay, I'm about to collide with this car. So all of a sudden, without actually consciously thinking, except that I do, I try to use like one word cues, like I try to keep it real short. So if I'm in an emergency or something, I can just say protect or prevent, or, I'm on a one word basis with those things. So you could call it a command, but it's more like an intention. So I might have in that moment said protect or prevent or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. I think it happened too fast for me to even do that. But so I noticed the car. I notice I'm about to collide with it when suddenly, you guys wouldn't even believe this. I wish somebody would have been in the car with me to see it. But the car actually blurred very quickly out of my way. It fishtailed, not fishtailed as in you could see the car sliding. It wasn't like that. It was blurred and it was moved over. Boom. So it was my vision couldn't catch up with the timeline switches. Boom, 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 boom. And then the car was over there and I never did hit it. So that was like one of the coolest, trippiest things I've ever experienced when it comes to like a timeline shift. So my reality actually blurred, the object blurred because I switched timelines so fast, but my mind was open enough to fathom that was a possibility. So it was able to happen for me. That's why we always have to strive to have a very open mind. So try not to be overly opinionated and overly strong about anything that you believe, because you're going to start to see going forward that a lot of people and a lot of things and a lot of associations, a lot of organizations, a lot of even your banking system, everything is going to start to look different to you going forward. So I encourage you to embrace the attitude of curiosity. What if that is true? What if that was true? I know that, try not to group everybody together either. Should I go there? Okay, so how do I got to be really careful about how I say this. Okay, so there is a group. No, there is an artificial intelligence. Seems to be an artificial intelligence from what I felt into about it. And it is the 17th letter of the alphabet. A lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. We have to talk on code here because of the editing that's happening on this channel way too much, which is them just keeping people from telling the truth, which is just wrong. Because we should be able to listen to everyone's opinion and pick and choose depending on our own discernment, what's true and what's false. We don't need parents telling us the right thing to watch and the wrong thing to watch. But anyway, as part of this misinformation battle, I read an article that they were grouping people, like groups of people together, calling them that name. There is no group that is called that name. So they are trying to confuse you guys and look at that group of people who use these key words as people who believe in that set of beliefs. It's totally not true. It's totally not true, guys. And that's like and so if they've, they tend to do that. This is a time when they're trying to confuse the hell out of you guys. All of us, really. The bad guys are trying to confuse the heck out of you so you don't know what's up and what's down. So that's why it's just so important that, for example, I say a lot of those things. I say a lot of the things that they say that group is a part of, and I'm not a part of that group, and there is no group called that anyway. So it's just total BS. They're just making it up and they're making fun of the very thing that they're actually doing. They really are pedophiles, and they really are doing what the truthers are saying that they're doing. There's so much evidence, you guys. It's going to come out. I mean, it's irrefutable. It's ridiculous that they're making fun of it and trying to downplay it and act like it's not happening. So they are the ones being ridiculous. They are the ones being crazy because we got all the proof and evidence in the world of it. And when you guys see it, you're going to vomit. It's really disgusting stuff, really disgusting. So for them to think that they're going to get away with that, like making fun of it and acting like, oh, they said there's a bunch of pedophiles, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, you're doing it in your closet. Don't even go there. Like, I know you, and I know you're, it's, yeah. You guys can learn more about that if you go to BitChute and some alternative channels and YouTube and places like that. I would highly suggest watching Nicholas Veniamin. And he is on BitChute. He has some incredible guest speakers on there who talk extensively about all of these subjects. Go to Aquarius Africa Rising, and I might have the words, mixed around, but Aquarius Africa Rising, you'll see all the evidence that you need. People who grew up in that system, the satanic system and all that kind of stuff. It's all very real, you guys. And it's not meant to scare you. It's so we're aware of it so that we can rise up against these liars trying to act like it doesn't exist so that they can continue to get away with it and steal your children. Not going to cut it. Not going to happen. And I'm going to call them on it. Trust me, I'm going to keep calling them on it until they have been squashed like a bug. They're going to have to get squashed like a bug because that is not okay. That is not, our children are not for sale. And they're not to be used for your pleasure or for you to look younger or for you, whatever. Not happening anymore. It's gone on long enough. Your end is near. Your end is happening and it is near. And this is all going to come out. And when it does, you guys, you're going to be really surprised at some other truths that come up with it. So just have an open mind and listen with discernment. Okay. They also want you guys to know that you are protected from all types of harm and the worst is now behind you. They ask that you relax and feel safe now. So we've already won the war. Love has already won the war. There's just the dark side's not going down without a fight. You're going to see all kinds of like pretend UFO attacks or pretend UFO, anything that you see on your tele-vision is not going to be true, guys, even including what just happened here in the town that I live in. Yes, some things may have happened to some of those people, but I guarantee you that first person that went on the scene has a good heart. I've talked to him myself in spirit because now he's in spirit. And he was used and he was set up by this evil system to take the fall. And not to take the fall because it's not like he got blamed. But what I'm saying is all the deaths that happened in that situation were totally not necessary. They were, one report says that the cop was the only one that got hurt. All it does is say hurt. And then all of a sudden this report comes out, 6 of them. And then another report, 10 of them. Oh, you didn't know that when it happened? You discovered that over a period of time? Like, no. No. And the whole thing like about somebody coming out of the building and being all nonchalant. Yeah, he's over there, and people weren't running out of the building screaming, and this guy was acting hysterical. Everybody else was all calm and cool. I mean, it was obviously a setup, and they even pay actors and actresses to even be the dead people and to lay on the ground. And you guys wouldn't believe this. Start looking into it. And they say, that's what they say about like, these groups, they look for everything. And they do because it's true. And those guys are being ridiculous and they're trying to scoff at it and make it laughable so that you guys believe them. And they're totally lying to you guys. Yeah, we look for truth because we're smart. Because we're not stupid, falling for every little thing that they do. And their fake CGI and the props that they use and using a film studio instead of the actual thing that happened. They're like filming it in you guys, and they're even putting on like masks and stuff, like very realistic. All the stuff they use in the movies and TV and stuff for special effects. They're actually using that in the NEWS all the time. So, and you guys are buying into it. Some of you are totally buying into it. All of you who were like all concerned about what happened here in my town and who were, oh my gosh, are you okay? I'm like, you've just given yourself up. You are watching the lies. I now know that about you. You're watching the lies. Unless they heard it from somebody. That's where I get my news mostly. But yes, I'm okay. I'm perfectly okay. And this is a very sweet town where that kind of thing doesn't happen. There's no crime here. I mean, not that I've ever heard of. I've lived here almost 5 years. This is the most peaceful, sweet little town ever. This is so stupid that they're, oh, now everybody should be afraid of that town. It's like, oh, please, give me a break. Obviously, you guys are just trying to get guns out of people's hands because it's our only protection. And they know that if we don't have those, then they can totally take us over like they've been trying to do all this time. And they're going to continue to try to do until we totally put a kibosh on it, which we are doing behind the scenes. So also, I am the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family. So you're going to have the support that you need going forward, and you're going to be blessed tremendously. And I just saw the 10 of Cups in my head. So you have got the support that you need coming forward, but you should know, do not worship your partner. Do not worship. I heard somebody say something yesterday that I was just appalled by. He said, one of the masculines said to his feminine, I used to believe in God. Now I believe in you. And I was like, oh my God. No, that's worship. Like, you do not worship another human being. And that's going to make you totally codependent if you act like that. If you do that, that's not going to cut it. You're going to ruin your relationship. And I do have a video on codependency if you guys want to watch that. So seek out the truth. Just keep praying to know the truth in all things, guys, and be wide open mind, wide open heart. And you'll start to be able to discern some of this stuff for yourself. So, Spirit, can you tell us what's coming for us here? Okay. Woo. Transformation. Justice is transforming. So, I mean, if you have something that's a legal matter that's really bothering you, or something that you are wanting to take legal action on, or anything like that, it's going to transform this week or soon. You know, these are timeless. If you should happen upon this in a few months, then it'll apply then. But the right thing is going to happen. And this could be in a relationship as well. You're already on the trajectory of this timeline of this relationship coming together. If this is a relationship, otherwise it's going to be that you're going to start a new chapter in your life. And although you're a little nervous, like maybe you've never done it before, or maybe you've never gone that route, or there must be something new about it, or you just feel a little more immature than the other person you're involved with. But you're already on that timeline. You're already going that direction. And whether you acknowledge or know it or not, and it's balancing out, and you're going to be unstoppable once you get going in this. You just have to get through that initial insecurity of feeling like you don't really know what you're doing, and just do the right thing. Just keep doing the right thing moment by moment by checking in with yourself, your intuition, and just knowing that things are going to work out. Keeping your sights set on the new earth that's coming for us. Setting your sights on how incredible everything's going to be when everything is honest and everything is truthful and everything is all like we all are on the same page. We all understand what's going on and the lies we were told, and we feel safe going forward. You shouldn't have to take a shot to feel free, guys. Freedom is your right. You know, we are sovereign human beings. You need to claim that right. And don't let bullies tell you to take something in order to get your life back on track. And then you go and take it, and they still make you adhere to the satanic rituals, like having those things on your faces and standing 6 feet apart. I mean, it's all absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Your immune system. I mean, they should have an immune system card that you show everybody. I take all these wonderful nutritional products. There, pass. Come on in. I mean, that's what it should be like. That's what should be going on right now. Not stupid shots that don't actually benefit you at all and don't even have even a tiny little bit or a little sample of the actual bug in it. You guys you gotta look into the ingredients of these things. Yeah. Quit buying into just every little thing that you hear, especially if it comes from that Tele-8 vision. All right. Postcards from Spirit, and I think then we're done. Okay, a bunny. It says, live your dreams. It's time to start living that dream. You've had that dream in your head long enough. You've been looking at that person long enough. You guys have been daydreaming about that person. drooling over them long enough, it's time for you guys to actually have that new beginning. And a bunny means a new beginning. It's an abundant new beginning. It's bounding into a new chapter, right? This is what it looks like. Dearest you, isn't it amazing how themes seem to come around again, full circle, in ways you could not possibly have planned? You wonder how a dream could die, only to be resurrected years later when you're really, really ready. You thought it was time back then, but your wisdom knows better than your small self, whose desires are unmet. Now here you are with a new opportunity to do things different, from a more mature perspective. We want you to trust that in this new opportunity for rebirth, you will be called in two directions, and the one that is unfamiliar will be the right one. Isn't that funny? Because I just said you're going to feel uncertain and insecure because you've never done that before. That's the direction you want to go in, the one that stretches you, that makes you feel uncomfortable, makes you go past your comfort zone. That's the one you want to go toward. In the unknown spaces, the uncharted places of infinite potential, we are waiting to guide you into your fullest life, not some life where you're going to fall on your face and make a big mistake. Trust life. This is going to be your fullest life. Big bounty will come if you remain in the present. You have come full circle, and now you can see that everything changes, is made new, and is given new hope. Wow. Loving you always. It was perfect. I get chills. I just got a cat. So I think they're telling me to do some energy work on you guys, or to do a blessing for you. So just relax your shoulders. Oh, wait, they told me to oh, really? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. They're wanting me to read to you an amulet of the goddess that I actually picked the other day. I think it was in my live. So this is what it looks like. I'll look up what it's called, and then I'll read the meaning to you, because it's what we're going through right now, apparently. Okay, it's called the Primal Mother and Child, 86. When you receive the mother, goddess, and child, it means you are ready to receive wholehearted and profound nurturing in body, mind, emotion, and spirit. You've probably been very busy nurturing others. Now, at home or work, in meditation and ritual, counseling and prayer, with family and friends, you'll be surrendering to the majestic mystery of love. Until now, you may have underestimated love's power or limited love to certain definitions. Considering all you've been through in the name of love, it's perfectly understandable. You are now in the embrace of an awakening power of love, whose dimensions will take you beyond anything you've ever experienced. Holy cow, I didn't even know this was going to be about love. In your imagination, you will see it. In your dreams, you will feel it. In your heart, you will know it. Love that knows no limits, no conditions. Love that listens without judgments or punishments. It's an experience of being held tightly in the arms of a divine and elemental mother goddess. She is infinitely one and all. She cares, and you are alive in her bliss. Wow. So don't underestimate the power of this love between you and your partner. Do not underestimate it. Expect miracles, because some incredible things are about to happen for you guys. Ceremonies and celebrations. Things are going to the next level. That's the Four of Wands. It could even be marriage. Someone's been healing their heart, and now they're ready to step into their natural beauty and authenticity. Be yourself, as God made you naturally attractive and lovable inside and out. So no need to be insecure with this person, and you are protected. So let go of control issues. Use your inner wisdom. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. This is a golden opportunity. Right? Exceeding your expectations. Just take a step in that direction. mend those bridges and heal the past with that person, and you're going to step into the most incredible life you ever could have possibly imagined. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here, and check out my YouTube channel. I'm also on Patreon, so go to patreon.com/Amy Satori. When you go to YouTube, you're going to look for Awakening with Amy. At the end of all of my videos, I put a list of all these alternative channels if you want to subscribe to all of those as well. So have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful day. I send you a big, giant hug, and I'll talk to you next week. Love you guys. Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in getting a reading, you can check out my services at amysatori.com/services. You can also join me on Patreon, where I do a monthly energies reading, pick a deck, messages from spirit, and more. Subscribe to me on alternative channels such as BitChute, Brand New Tube, HugeTube, and the Collective Super Channel if you want to be sure we stay connected. Feel free to follow me on Instagram or reach out on Telegram as well. If you're interested in some great health-boosting products I'm a huge fan of, please enter the URL below in your browser for more information. Also, check for the latest updates in the description of my videos as I try to keep them up to date. Thank you so much and have yourself a beautiful day.